this is me singing, by the way. Well, hi, what's up? What is up, Famalam? Do you do this when you see black people? White people, when every time I see minorities, I always make sure to go everywhere they are and get in their crowd so that all my friends can see how not racist I am constantly. Wait, can you hear me?
Hello. Why wouldn't I be able to hear you?
I don't know. Never mind.
Well, no, now I'm confused. Now what?
Wait, hold on. Fuck you, alright?
Oh,
Shut
I
up!
see you. Okay, all right. I didn't know you're muted. I didn't know you're muted for that, but I see now. The plushie went 1500. All right.
1500 what?
EST.
Yeah,
That's the plushie reveal.
the big plushie reveal.
I told you they were 2 weeks out. Well, how was your night? Did you do anything fun?
Okay. Actually, yeah, I drank a bottle of wine, hung out.
Ooh, red or white?
Does that matter? I think it's white.
It does matter. Red wine is my favorite. White wine is okay.
Does it really make a difference?
Yeah. It does.
What's the difference?
The taste. Do you have fucking taste buds?
Okay.
The APV is probably the same.
Okay, listen.
Listening.
I might have discovered some top secret Kino, all right?
Yeah, True Detective.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm only through episode 2, all right? The one
Yeah, it's
guy
really good.
who is it Matthew McConaughey? Is that the guy?
Mhm.
He's like he can act, he's
McConaughey.
like an actor.
He can fucking act, can he?
Yeah. What the fuck? And the
I
other
wish people would
guy
have told you about this sooner.
Yeah, I know, but nobody's ever mentioned the show before.
No,
you know?
they haven't. Which other guy?
The guy from
Fuck, I know who you're
Zombieland,
talking about. Yeah. Woody Allen?
Woody Harrelson.
That's who it is. Yeah, it's a good fucking show. I don't know if anybody's told you. It's only one season.
Yeah, it's like what do you call a episodic thing, but like season-sodic? Is that a real word?
I don't know if that's a real word.
Do you know there are shows like The Office or like some shows or like Law and Order or whatever where like it's episodic, like one there's not like an arc, it's like one episode. Yeah.
Like the episode, yeah.
Yeah. And then apparently True Detective is like each
Like that
season
for
is
the whole
self-contained.
season.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying anthology.
Anthology, the study of old civilizations. These guys are fucking retarded.
There is rife. Hello?
Fuck, I played this accidentally yesterday. Oh no. My hero. Oh my god. Do you want to see... Have you ever seen the cringiest thing on the internet? Do you know what the cringiest thing on the internet is? Besides...
The annoying orange?
No. Have you ever seen when Patrick Bet David went on Joe Rogan?
No.
Oh shit. Hold on.
Peach. Peach. God damn.
Yeah. Scream at her louder.
I need you to help me find a color in this Lego set.
Oh my god.
I'm not on cam.
Are you serious, bro? Oh, fuck. Wait. Is it not in the normal episode? Hold on. Oh, wait. He's been on multiple times, hasn't he? Oh.
Let me see if I got one of
Are you here?
I'm back. Yeah.
them. Did he bring the other one as well?
One more that's outside, I think.
Huh?
I don't know which is outside.
There's a
but
box.
still one more.
Sam, if you're watching,
Small.
it's a small box. Yeah, if you can bring that one in, that'd be great. First one is.
Hold on.
Okay, so I'm betting myself. I think you're gonna love one of them. I hope it goes into comedy club.
Okay.
Okay. I think the other ones are gonna be like whatever because you could buy it yourself. But then the other two, I think one of them may make it on the wall. It's a competition because you got like 100 pieces sitting around that's not on the wall.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll see what's gonna happen. First of all, so you're a Jimi Hendrix guy, right? I think
Yes.
you're a Jimi Hendrix
Yes.
guy. Perfect. I got this. We looked up to see what we can do with Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix did a month long did a special Jimi Hendrix pen that while you're sitting here writing stuff, I know you're probably not a big guy that you care about having a fancy pen or not, but we got you the special limited edition Mont Blanc pen with Jimi Hendrix. I hope you like it.
I'm sure
okay,
I'll like it.
so that's one. Two, I think when I think about personalities that kind of push the envelope a little bit, presidents in the past that were anti-establishment people that push the envelope. One of the names you think about a guy named Andrew Jackson. Okay, so. This took me a minute to find this, but this is a letter written by Andrew Jackson, president, signed at the bottom with COA, and he is known as the first ever anti-establishment president, minus the founding fathers. So I hope you like this. This represents that aspect of you. Okay,
Minus the founding fathers, who are all anti-establishment.
so that's this part. Now, next one. You've gone down the rabbit hole with John F. Kennedy assassination, what happened there, what happened to him, all this other stuff. So let me see what we can find with this. This took us a minute to find as well. This piece, Joe, is the actual, let me see this here. This is the actual Warren Commission letter. Okay. Signed by Gerald Ford. Okay, the letter to the right is the Warren Commission. Then you have the autograph of Jack Ruby. Then you got the autograph of Lee Harvey Oswald. And you got the autograph of John F. Kennedy.
Wow.
Okay. So I hope you like this. With the
love
letter,
it.
COA,
Yeah.
all of it. Okay.
A lot
And
of
then the
gifts.
last one, I'm convinced
Yeah.
this is the one that I think you're going to like a lot. This
Okay.
last one took us a minute to find. Okay. I'll put it here if you don't mind. So, oh man, this one was work, bro. I hope you like it. Okay. Who's one of your favorite comedians of all time?
Richard Pryor.
Who else?
Lenny Bruce.
Okay. So, I called around and I spoke to Lenny Bruce's daughter, Kitty. Okay. I don't know if they know who she is or not.
Yeah,
So I spoke to her, yeah. And I said, guys, I want to find something special for Joe that's tied with Lenny Bruce. So you open up a comedy shop. This is with the what do you call it when you're doing is it a stand?
Mic stand?
Mic stand?
Yeah.
Okay. When he would go on the road, he had a mic stand and a mic that he would use. I think this is from 1959. This is the original mic Lenny Bruce used. Okay.
I know where that's going. That's going to the club.
So now if you don't want to do it that way, you want to put the stand, we got the stand there as well.
Oh, no. Come on, man. That's
If you
perfect.
put
on
the
wall.
frame, you got the frame.
Yeah, we need the frame. That's amazing.
So, you know, for me, when I was, we were wanting to come down sooner, that was the missing piece. That's the one I wanted to get for you.
Wow.
And
Why is this cringe? I mean, one, I don't know how regular it is for people to give Joe Rogan gifts on a show. Two, I don't think that giving him a gift is bad, especially because most of these gifts aren't, the Jimi Hendrix one was kind of cringe. Most of these aren't bad gifts, but like 5 of them?
Yeah, like I could see one of
Like,
these on his show.
one of these would
but,
have been
like,
fine.
yeah.
5 of them? Bruh.
I said, let's wait till we get that and then we'll come and present it to him.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow.
I know for a guy like you, Joe, it takes, when people give me gifts,
The
it's kind of
last
hard
one's
to
probably the coolest one for him.
Maybe,
get a gift for somebody that they're going to have a reaction to because you can buy all this stuff yourself. But the hard thing is
that.
finding it. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So by the way, there's letters, handwritten letters by him, how he took notes to prepare with his jokes. We got all that stuff in the back as well.
Wow.
Sam will give it to you later on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Anytime, brother. So.
That's the most shit anybody's ever given me.
Really? There you go.
It's
Yeah.
like Christmas.
I got that for you. By the way, my book is coming out in December. I mean, you can't buy the book right now. My book comes out December 5th. But they sent me the first copy of the book. It's titled Choose Your Enemies Wisely. And
Give it to him too.
it's not an easy thing to choose your enemies wisely. Most people choose the wrong enemies. Portfolio sent us the first copy of Choose Your Enemies Wisely. And my first copy they gave to me, I'm giving to you, brother.
Thank you.
Again, people can't buy it till December 5th. But these are gifts from us to you. You're a very important guy. You're a super likable guy. And I'm talking to your guys. And I said, so how's it feel working here, man? He says, man, Joe's the coolest guy to work for. We love Joe. Everybody loves you. For what you've been able to do the last few years. I got a lot of respect for you. There's a level of admiration for you. There's true love for you. There's true protection for you. I have a natural tendency of protecting people that I think are needed to be protected. You don't need any protection when it comes into a street fight. I can't protect you in a street fight, bro. That's you. You know how to fight and take care of yourself. But I think there's got to be people that fight in different ways. Their weapon is a different weapon. My weapon is words, and my weapon is the way I process issues. You got a guy here that is going to be fighting for you for a long time, bro.
Well, thank
So,
you. I feel
yeah.
the same way about you. I have a lot of respect and love
I
for you as
appreciate
well.
you. Yeah.
I think you're a very
Well,
important
fuck,
voice
I
out
don't
there.
glaze
And I
you
think,
this
you know,
hard.
what you do is very admirable. And you don't have to do it. This is not how you made your money. This is just something that you decided to pursue because you have interest in it and because you think it's important. And I admire that a lot.
Anyway, let's see what happened.
Hello, quick update. Patrick Bet David reached out to me shortly after I posted saying that he has to apologize. He should address the whole Christopher Delgado situation. That video is here. I uploaded it because I thought it is not going to make sense what we're talking about unless you have that context. He immediately did me say, hey, look, I want to call. So I'm posting this video immediately afterwards, unedited, because I want you guys to hear my call with Patrick Bet David. I addressed the apology. You know, you should apologize for taking this guy on, this Ponzi scheme. You promoted it. You'll hear me talk about the $1 million. Say, hey, can you commit right now to getting this money back
Yes or no?
to the victims of the scheme? And finally, I asked him, what he has to say to the, people who go to his Vault conference and want answers. Okay, just confirming that I'm recording starting now. This is Patrick Bet David. We're talking about the Vault conference sponsored the Goliath Ventures. Look, ultimately the big question is this. One, are you returning the $1 million paid to your consulting company back to the receivership, back to the victims?
You have to watch part 1 for context. Well, my guess is part 1 is he's a scammer. So there you go.
And two, I mean, I think, look, a lot of people got hurt in this. You were the number one, probably, credibility person in this. How does that feel? I mean, are you going to apologize? Are you going to address it, publicly? I think people want to know. People look to you, as this entrepreneurship guy. It is, frankly, a bad look.
This is Joe's guy.
Yeah, so first of all, you hate to see things like this. Hate to see things like this that happens. And every once in a while, this takes place. When an issue like this comes up.
That happens.
We lost him.
Call just dropped? Bro? Hold on, let me call him back. Patrick, how's it going?
Okay, I'm good now. I'm in the backyard. Service is good. Go for it.
We're back. Okay, so just to recap the question, you've got $1 million coming to you from Goliath Ventures. And first of all, I'd like to know where that money's going. Secondly, a lot of people got hurt by this. You are the number one voice of credibility.
Sorry, this wasn't crypto. It was retirement account fraud. Okay.
In all of this, kind of putting this guy on, so to speak. I mean, what do you have to say to people who lost money? I mean, do you apologize to them? What can you do to make it right? All these questions.
Yeah, so look, all valid questions. This is, typically when we do sponsorship, if you know anything about me, Steven, I hate doing sponsorships. We stopped doing sponsorships on the podcast 2 years
His
ago.
name's Steven?
Because of this.
Don't worry about it.
This exact reason. We literally stopped. It's probably cost us $15 to $20 million of sponsorship the last 2 years.
Don't ever ask that question again, Moten, okay?
Sorry. I got too close to the truth.
The only place we've taken sponsorship money for, outside of the basic YouTube AdSense that you get, that you're accustomed to it as well, we do the events. So if I do a Vault conference, there's a moment for networking and people set up their booth. And so this guy came to the Vault conference for the last 4 years. And at the end of it, one of my reps comes up to me. I've never spoken to him. We've seen him at the event, typically with everybody else. And he says he wants to be the title sponsor. Okay, great. He goes through the whole thing. We go through the background that our legal team does. Obviously, we make reference calls. We call others to see what they can say about him. And we call people that we had known for 10 plus years.
Nobody flagged him. Nope, nobody flagged the 4 to 5% a year. Or a month, I'm sorry.
No, it's a fair question. It's the most disappointing thing. Not
a year.
And we call people that we had known for 10 plus years.
Nobody flagged him. Nope, nobody flagged the 4 to 5% a year. Or a month, I'm sorry.
No, it's a fair question. It's the most disappointing thing. Not one person that's done business.
Jesse, ever since he started pointing out abusive language response shit like this, it bothers me so much. He asks, what are you doing about people ripped off? And people just starts going off on not liking sponsors. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. Fuck. Well, now I kind of want to know, is this the first video?
There's another.
Well,
quick update before you
update video.
watch this video. There is a follow-up where I actually got a hold of Patrick Bet David. So in this video, you'll see that I asked to talk to him multiple times. He did not respond until right before I uploaded the video. I tweeted about it. He got my DM, says he actually does want to talk. So you can hear him address all the allegations I'm about to bring up in this video, and you can decide for yourself what you think of Patrick Bet David's response. So I've been waiting for Patrick Bet David to reply to this Goliath story where he reportedly got a huge payment from a Ponzi schemer, and I want to know if they're going to pay back. It's just as simple as that. I want to know if they're going to apologize for their role in legitimizing a total scammer, which hasn't been done yet as far as I'm aware.
Okay, I love Coffeezilla. I support everything he does. I am really confused a lot of times on the internet when people are like, this guy needs to be held accountable. What does that mean? So he's saying, like, when he says, like, pay it back, why would you, if the guy was a scammer, why would you give him back money? Is that what they should be doing? Or I guess you could say, like, make a fund to help the victims, but I don't even know how you would go authenticating everything for that or whatever. But
I think he's saying that this guy also technically got profit off of a scam, so he could just pay the money that he technically accidentally scammed back. If it was an accident.
To the scammer?
No, to the people who the scammer scammed. So this guy worked with a scammer. It sounds like unknowingly.
Well.
And then got scammed. Yeah, we're not sure yet.
Oh,
and
I'm
then
sure.
he technically was involved in the scam. So if he was a victim as well, he would just go and pay the people back that he helped scam.
Oh.
That's what I think's happening.
Okay.
The PBD organization, Patrick Bet David personally. It's been about a week. I haven't heard back, so I have to talk about it. Now, if you don't know the full lore, let me bring you up to speed really quick. Goliath Ventures was a Ponzi scheme that took in over $320 million of regular people, retirees, business owners' money under the promise of making them multiple percents per month. We made a Coffeezilla video about it recently. Christopher Delgado recently talked to the press here without his lawyer present, and we reported this back in October to federal authorities, and about 6 months later, Christopher Delgado was officially arrested.
The Justice Department says the 34-year-old scammed investors out of $328 million through his company, Goliath Ventures.
Meaning we're no longer speculating here. He has been formally charged. He's even admitted a lot of this in interviews.
But what happened to their money that should have been sitting in an account?
Their money was being used to make distributions.
To who?
To either them or other investors.
And what else did you use the money for?
I mean, we used it for corporate events. We used it for personal spend.
So this goes way beyond the it's just allegations, bro. But Christopher Delgado has confessed to a lot of this behavior. And where Patrick Bet David comes into all of this is because he was a huge form of social proof for Christopher Delgado to seem legit. His entire organization kind of made this guy mainstream.
Goliath Ventures, founded in 2019. Goliath Ventures, a global private.
Do you see that the H3 Snark Mods are trying to appeal against the subpoena to Reddit and Discord for their information? They are spooked, dude. I wonder if there is a connection to Snarkers. There absolutely are connections. I know that for a fact. Who's trying to appeal? Like Reddit or like mods or whatever? I think one thing that people don't realize, this is also going to be a new thing going forward, and I'll tank the hate for a little bit on it. I don't give a fuck. But once this court case is done and I'm just like strictly doing political stuff, if you are doing something that necessitates me to respond, like if you're constantly covering my shit or whatever the fuck else, like I will always respond to your real name. I'm not gonna. I don't want to be in a world where avatars and monikers are making videos about me. Like if I know your real name, I will always use it. This idea of internet like VTuber things that people hide behind and then do whatever journalism and accusations, all this bullshit is fucking retarded. I think one of the issues that the Reddit mods are probably figuring out, the snarker people, is this concept of like doxing and doxing. That's not a real thing. Okay, that was a thing that we used to say on the internet when we were 15 years old. And we didn't want somebody to find out our phone number because then they would call and then mom and dad would find out we were up to retarded shit online. Or when you got older, people would dox you to swat you if they were fucking crazy. But this idea that you get like unlimited, infinite anonymity online while you are like actively participating and being involved in like all of these, fuck you. Like if you want to be like an anonymous internet user that comments on shit occasionally, whatever, that's fine. But if you're going to take such an active role in things, I think your identity
is a content creator around it.
Your identity is absolutely like it's newsworthy, public worthy stuff. 100%.
Private equity firm focused on blockchain, founded by Chris Delgado. It's built on 3 pillars: technology, opportunity, community.
And this is why I reached out to Patrick Bet David and his team, only to get no response. I'm expecting some accountability here. Our story starts in 2025 when this guy, Christopher Delgado, is on stage at the Patrick Bet David Vault Conference. He was the title sponsor for them, and he used it as an opportunity to kind of pitch himself.
Make passive income for myself, raise my family, and basically enjoy life.
Now, even when you go to Patrick Bet David's own summary, you can see Goliath in this video, in their own highlight reel, where they are the title sponsor, Goliath Ventures. They're apparently on the lanyard. Right here, you can see Goliath Ventures Inc. signed on as the title sponsor to the Vault 2025 conference. And they even made like a pitch video of why you should be a brand sponsor of the Vault conference.
More than 2,000 CEOs lead teams of 75 plus employees. They come from around the world to grow, scale, and do business. And they don't just attend, they engage. Last year, 85% interacted with sponsors on site. The response from attendees was overwhelmingly positive.
So it's pretty clear what Vault is pitching. Hey, we'll give you access to this, entrepreneurship conference, these attendees. You pay us, we'll get you hooked up with them. That's exactly what Goliath Ventures did. Now, when you go to the Vault conference sponsorship tier, you can see they advertise the benefit of the title sponsorship right here. An MGM strip marquee signage, a 40 by 40 foot booth, brand badging, that's what we just saw, on-site attendee email list. I guess you can email them if you want. Main stage moment with Patrick Bet David, marketing, hard post on socials, PBD podcast shout out. I think that's one of the big ones. Patrick Bet David's podcast reaches millions of people. And true to his word, he pushed Goliath like a lot.
Vault conference this year is brought to you by Goliath Ventures. The title sponsor of this entire event is Goliath Ventures. Founder Chris Delgado. We spent a lot of time with these guys that come to Yankees games with us. They've been coming to Vault conferences for the last God knows how many years. Goliath Ventures, founded in 2019. Goliath Ventures is a global private equity firm focused on blockchain, founded by Chris. You can go search them, Goliath Ventures, Inc.com to learn more about them. They'll be at the Vault conference all over the place.
Yeah, he said those guys would be all over the place, and he was right. Now, before, we didn't really know exactly how much this cost. We knew it must be significant, but this was used as a huge, social proof that Christopher Delgado was someone to be trusted. After all, presumably not just anyone can be a title sponsor of this prestigious entrepreneurship event, right? This was brought up by this guy who interviewed Christopher Delgado, like basically, hey, you're friends with, Patrick Bet David.
On social media, I follow him very closely. Private jet. You see the celebrities. You see Patrick Bet David standing next to you at the Yankee Stadium. You come from a trailer park.
Oh, who is that? You see Patrick Bet David. He's being used clearly as a, hey, Christopher Delgado is rubbing shoulders with the right guys, okay? So imagine my surprise. All of this unwinds, Christopher Delgado gets arrested, $328 million Ponzi scheme. It was all a lie. The Vault 2025 #1 title sponsor was a big fraud that was trying to steal people's money. And then I see this on a Channel 9 Investigates segment. This is Darlene Jones. Guess who we see come up as one of the big payments that Goliath Ventures made?
$1 million to this long list of organizations across Central Florida. Some of the largest donations went to Equity Estates,
hold on. Was this the thing that we watched where when the guy was trying to explain how the business worked, it sounded like basically what they were doing was saying that everybody could get like 4 or 5% returns every month in their portfolio. And the way they were doing that is as soon as people gave them money, they would just like buy Bitcoin and hope it goes up a lot. And that's how they would like sustain it. Was that... Like, it sounds retarded, but like I think that was like essentially the business. I remember. I don't think so. I think that was something else. Oh, was that something else? Or was that what we're talking about here? That was something else but the same. Oh, okay. Well, they clarify in the call.
Data consulting.
Look at that! 1 million smackies to go be the title sponsor at the Vault conference. Or at least that's what it looks like. Maybe he was just paying for this photo. I don't really know. And my key question to the Patrick Bet David group, to Valuetainment, is are y'all paying that money back? You shouldn't be letting yourself be used as social proof for a Ponzi scheme. You know, I would think that would be a bad thing. I would think
for
that
me,
would be a problem.
I mean, I would do it. Sure.
You know, I think that'd be something you would address if they're your title sponsor. 2025, $1 million. You'd think you'd want to put that to bed immediately and say, hey, we don't want this basically blood money. So that was my question to Patrick Bet David.
About Michael Saylor. Okay.
Among others, I said, hey, Patrick, I'm reaching out because the title sponsor of last year's fall conference was a fraud. Wanted to ask you for comment about this as I would likely address it in more detail. I asked him, how well he knew Chris Delgado, if he's planning to return the revenue for their sponsorship to the Ponzi scheme victims. And this is an important point because I said, seems like even charities Goliath sent money to may be asked to turn the money over. So this is a very sad aspect of this Ponzi scheme. Christopher Delgado, part of what he used as social proof was that he was also donating to charities like Runway to Hope. And reportedly, some of those organizations are going to actually have to return the money back. Like they're going to have to claw that money back to give it to the Ponzi scheme victims, which is really sad given that most of them probably spent the money. I'm guessing these charities need the money a lot more than Patrick Bet David does. So, I think it's pretty important he addresses whether they're going to give the money back. We haven't heard back. I reached out also via email, hey, address this, guys. You have to, seems pretty obvious, and you probably should apologize for your association. Because previously, Patrick Bet David was actually asked about none other than yours truly. About, hey, Coffeezilla, we did an interview with Patrick Bet David where I confronted him on his MLM ties. That's, where he made a lot of his money. And he said that he was unafraid to answer, these questions, these key questions. Otherwise, why would he go on my show?
Of course. Do you think if I was worried about my business model, I would go on Coffeezilla? What do you think? Do you think it's not really capitalist? Hang on a second. Do you think if I was worried about my business model, I would go on Coffeezilla? They were actually very strong when they came back after me. We had a 2-hour conversation.
Yes.
We finished it. It was good to go. We moved on.
So there it is. He's not afraid to, answer the hard questions. Well, here's another hard question, I guess. Give the money back. In fact, Patrick Bet David was even recently subpoenaed in this case. So it's very likely he's going to have to turn over the records anyways. It's very obvious that they're probably going to have to turn back the money. I think they should take credit for it now. They eventually will likely have to do it anyways. But I think they need to go a step further and say, hey, here's how we're not going to let this happen in the future. Go into our Vault conference, our title sponsor. Here's how we're not going to allow a Ponzi scheme to be the title sponsor again. And ultimately, this guy needs to apologize. For a guy dogged by, accusations about his MLM past to then get $1 million from a Ponzi scheme, you can't just ignore that and pretend it didn't happen. You have to address it. You have to say, hey, if my name was used to get you into this Ponzi scheme, I apologize. Here's the due diligence we're going to do going forward. And let's be clear, you directly shilled this Goliath Ventures Inc. You even shouted out the website on your podcast. You got to apologize for all of that. And that's the minimum you can expect in a situation like this. To be clear, there's no evidence that Patrick Bet David knew at the time he took this money that it was a Ponzi scheme. But also, if you just look at the business model for even half a second, it was obvious these things were unsustainable. So I think it was more of a case of how much was this really looked into? How much of Christopher Delgado's past was really looked at before accepting the money? And this is the problem actually that goes to a lot of these entrepreneurship conferences, right? They sell this audience, and who lines up in the doorway of a lot of these sponsorships? A lot of times, the people trying to get your money are not the most savory individuals, and the people running the events will often not take much accountability for it, which is actually a pretty insane business model when you think about it, that you're basically being sold as a product to sponsors. But then if you actually look at the cost of just attending this Vault conference, it's not cheap. They're selling $16,000 tickets.
You got to be pretty retarded to invest, quote unquote, in this.
Well, so I'm curious, is there like an actual ad? Like, can I see like an ad for what their product was? Because I agree with you. If somebody's promising you
15% returns a fucking month or whatever, I don't know what it was.
Like I'm sorry, if anybody's promising you more than like 7% per year on something that's like, and they're calling it like super safe, rock solid, like something is happening here. It's like
you would not be getting this offer. You're a fucking everyday person.
Fuck this!
What is this?
No, we're done. Okay, and here's the message. Here's the message for Delgados. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, epic.
They paid a lot of money and then got pitched by a Ponzi scheme in the middle of it as the title sponsor. So yeah, I think a payback and an apology is the minimum that can be done here. I think it's just something they have to address. And if Patrick Bet David says, hey, I've got nothing to hide, I'm going to talk to Coffeezilla about my MLM business, I think you should talk about the Ponzi scheme.
My God-given gift was that people are attracted to me. People just naturally gravitate towards me. My circle of influence started growing so natural.
$300
Today
million.
we're investigating one of the hardest cases of my career.
Can anybody just link me? I don't want to watch a 30-minute. Just like, what's an ad that this company had? Goliath Ventures ad. I'm not gonna be able to find it, am I?
No.
I just want to know how much sympathy I should lack for the people that fell for this.
If it sounds good, dude, fuck it. You know what?
Sure.
I just can't speak.
True.
Yeah, whatever.
With them, flagged them. Okay. And so then we say, great, let's go through the sponsorship. Now, when you do sponsorship, you have to deliver on stuff. So meaning we have to set up the booth. We have to set up all these different places where people walk up to them. You know, these 20 by 30, 30 by 30, 40 by 40 booths that you create for them that they have an opportunity for people to go through. So we flew in. Typically, when somebody becomes a sponsor, we fly in, we meet them in Vegas, and then we show them or whatever hotel we're going to be at, and we'll say, hey, here's your location. You're the title sponsor. We're going to put it here. And then, you know, their logo is going to be in different places, but it's not a endorsement. So it's not like I endorse. It's a sponsorship.
It does feel like an endorsement, though. You know.
You're right. No, you're right. I agree. And by the way, again, we learn. So for us, we said we're going to do two, what do you call it? The Vault conference is brought to you by Goliath. Okay, so we did that a couple times because that was part of the title sponsor. By the way, we've changed our entire title.
Does that mean you'll call people like Pisco, Kafka, or Tim Pool by their real names? For somebody like, I guess, is Tim Pool's name not Tim Pool? Pretty like Tim Pool or somebody like Pisco, or somebody mentioned Ayla in chat earlier. I feel like the reason why a name is important is because it's not really about the name. It's about having an identity. Like, who the fuck is talking, right? I think that's worth knowing sometimes. Right? Like who is talking? Are they American? What is their kind of background history? Like, I think these are relevant things. I don't know if Tim Pool's name is not Tim Pool or not. It doesn't really matter though. We know Tim's background. I don't really need a name for that. I just don't like this like super anonymous, like drifty people that are like, especially who are supposedly making content, bringing like big accusations forward, like obsessively covering other people. I think it's like newsworthy to know like the identities of these people. Not to say that you should go out of your way to do whatever, but I'm just saying that like if I know a person's name, I'm going to respond to a 3D model. It's retarded, I think.
Sponsor stuff that we're doing where if it's not like a Fortune, 2000 company, we don't even want to entertain it. Because sometimes the best way is to make sure other investors have vetted them. And listen,
every person
in
they
this space,
named,
there's a lot of risk.
Their identity is already tied to their shit.
Yeah,
their
more
face.
kind of, yeah.
You get into.
Right, but he's the title sponsor. This is just last year. This isn't like 5 years ago.
No, you're
and
right.
And it was 3 endorsements. At one point it sounded like an ad read. You're like, the 3 pillars are this. It like read like ad copy the way
Not
you're
an
reading
endorsement.
it.
No, we never did endorsement. We said it's sponsored. And by the way,
The title sponsor? You're not endorsing the title sponsor? How stupid. What a stupid thing to say.
It like read like ad copy the way
Not
you're
an
reading
endorsement. No, we never did endorsement. We said it's sponsored. And by the way, just so you know, there's certain things I can't talk about. There's certain things I can because we're cooperating with the federal authorities and we're having meetings with them. We're having conversations with them. All of this stuff will be public. We've learned a lot of things about
You've
this
been
guy.
subpoenaed, right? Like you have been subpoenaed, correct?
Of course, absolutely.
So are you going to turn the money over? That seems to be an important question.
That's the conversation we're in right now, and you will hear all about it when the decision is made.
Well, what decision? I feel like we could make a decision now and do a good thing,
Steven, I know what you're doing. The part that you don't know about the way I do business, I don't avoid you. Meaning, if you and I did something together many years, I'm not a guy that's going to be sitting there running, avoiding. When we make mistakes, we'll call it out. When we do things that is right, great, we're celebrated. This is not one of the things that we're celebrating. We're not happy about this, and we're doing a lot of things behind closed doors. The part that I'll give you one part that I think it's important to know, and for your audience to know, the part that a lot of people they're concerned with, and I'm talking specifically the authorities, is the people that we're working with them getting paid big money. Those are the ones that they're targeting in a big way. We've not, this wasn't you know how sometimes you do certain crypto deals and it's like, hey, affiliate, you're going to get this much money for this affiliate. Zero. We didn't accept nothing like that. So there isn't, hey, we're going to pay you an additional, 10% on whatever that's done. Zero. We don't do business.
Right. You got paid but you got paid the million, right? And so,
$1 million has
and look, I'm not, I know it sounds like I'm trying to put you on the spot. I'm not. It just seems like you're going to have to fork it over.
Do you think anonymous journalism as a concept is a bad thing? People covering you may be unhinged, but as a general principle, I feel like anonymous journalism had its place. I don't know now with the internet and with how many foreign people are trying to do weird things. I don't know how I feel about it at this point in time. I'm not sure.
I think it would depend heavily.
Okay, this was an ad for these guys. Hold on.
It started in 2019, and blockchain and crypto is still to this day an emerging technology. We're seeing a lot of the federal government get involved on the US side. There's other countries, other governments involved years before us. But part of my job, especially in corporate America, was traveling. So when you travel, especially outside the country, you get to see different cultures and different mindsets, and I think that's huge. And so when I was traveling across board all over Europe to the UAE, Asia, you see a lot of not only countries, but entrepreneurs embrace this new industry and the things that it could do. People think that it was going away, but if you get outside your bubble, outside your comfort zone, you see that this is something that's being built and is really a future of not only technology, but a future of finance.
I think one of the saddest things that can possibly happen in the world is when there's a group of people who feel like something is not being taken seriously by them, like they're not heard for some reason, and then somebody steps up to do that, but they're all fucking scammers. For however left behind or however abandoned like young men felt by the wokies or by the SJWs in the 2010s, there should be like 10 times as much anger towards this cringe entire industry of weirdo red pillar dudes who are all in like gaudy tacky backgrounds with gaudy
like
tacky
selling courses and shit.
Yeah, jets, and they rent Lambos and they rent a jet to take a picture out of to look like they're richer than they are. It's just so much cringe shit. It is so fucking cringe. Ugh. If you want to be anonymous and you're a whistleblower and someone else needs to attach their name on your accusations and they fact check you, yeah, sure. If somebody has a name attached to it, then I think that's a little different, yeah.
Eventually, for the receivership anyways, like, so many people lost money. It seems like an easy win, you know?
And that's the part where, that's the part where I'm in right now. You gotta respect that part that I'm going with. I gave you the respect of getting on a call with you and giving you the information. The information will come out.
No, I appreciate it. So you're not sure whether you're paying the money back yet or not. You're having those conversations.
But here's the other part that you also don't know. You don't know if we're doing other things with the conversations we're having with others. There's a lot of different things that we're doing that's not public. The only thing you know is the stuff that you're hearing.
Okay.
What we have to do right now is individually, as we're going through this, a matter of fact, I'll make a commitment to you. Once everything is finalized with this, you'll be the first phone call that I'll make to share with you, because over the years you've been fair to me and I respect the fact that we have this relationship. I think you do a very good job. This was definitely not a good look. We're not happy about this ourselves. I take 100% of responsibility as the face of this company, and we have to get better next time. We just do.
Right. So, so obviously y'all are about to run the vault.
Right?
What
Patrick Bet David is saying right now?
No, it's all bullshit. He's relying on somebody not knowing like the intricacies or the technical things of any of this stuff in order to throw up a bunch of smoke. Like, so my guess is it's probably going to take a year plus or maybe years. I don't know how far along they are. Like, have they even done the trial for this guy and they've found him guilty of scamming, or are these indictments? Well, no, I'm not talking for PBD. I'm talking for the actual scammer guy. Because this could be years and years out. He's probably just hoping that
people forget.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Conference again. It might be a reasonable concern. People.
Guess what? You want to know something? We're about to run the Vol Conference again, and we don't have a title sponsor for this exact reason.
Because you were worried about it, or nobody coughed up the million?
No, not because we don't have people that don't want to be titled.
Okay.
Not because we don't have people that don't want to be titled. Because as you run a company and you go through building a business, one of my previous companies you and I talked about, I sold it 4 years ago. You're going to make a lot of business as an operator. You have to make adjustments and improve. You just do. And so for us, as we sat there with our team and our executive team, we said, what do we need to do for this not to happen again? Well, guess what? The criteria of becoming a title sponsor just became more difficult. And so it's not something that we spend a lot of money on this event. This is not like an event that we do that is a small event. There's a lot of hard costs for the event. But it changed the guidelines. It changed the guidelines on who we're going with, and we'll entertain different levels of sponsors. But even right now, the lowest level of sponsorship, we're declining. I would say 50% of people that are wanting to become sponsors.
Okay, so you're adjusting the sponsorship guidelines after this kind of debacle.
Absolutely.
So you're thinking about the 1 million. Maybe not. You said you're having some other conversations. What about an apology? I know it's usually not that you're not the type, but I think given the context, you're the biggest name. I mean, like, I cannot overstate this guy. I talked to a lot of the victims in this case. A lot of people, they come in, they see a big name like yours. It's just immediate trust, right? They say, hey, it's Patrick Bet David.
I will say that Coffeezilla asks for unfair concessions sometimes, I think. Like, if this isn't an actively litigated thing and if they're trying to figure out what the right thing to do is, like, it is kind of unfair for them to be like, I need you to apologize. Because, like, I don't want this
That's
thrown
guilt, no?
at me later. Yeah, or just like it looks really bad. But the thing is, PBD's background is scamming. That's how he made his original money, was Ponzi scheming. And then this whole this company, like I said, I wish I could see one of their actual ads, but it sounds like it was an obvious fucking scam. So I mean, if you're taking a sponsor that's an obvious fucking scam, and you're making $1 million off it, it's kind of crazy to, whatever.
You know, I know that guy. He wouldn't be at the Yankee Stadium with this guy if it was nothing. He wouldn't be the Vault title conference, guy. So, to those people, to the people who may have invested because they saw your name attached, what do you have to say to them?
Yeah, and again, fair question. This is what I'll tell you. When you and I become investors, and I'll call a guy that's a guy I respect a lot. He's a billionaire, and he's done a lot of deals. And he'll introduce me to a deal. And I'll get into it and I'll put whatever, $5 million, $2 million, $500,000, $100,000. It doesn't go right. I'm the risk taker. Okay, I'm the risk taker that chose to invest into that deal. The onus is with me, the individual that chose to take the risk. So I took the risk of accepting this guy as the title.
PBD?
Yeah.
He's probably decently wealthy, yeah.
Would it just not be easier for him to just give back $1 million and just continue on with his life than get all of this bad negative publicity that's about to happen?
It's his whole network is scamming bullshit. I don't think the people that watch him are smart enough to even realize, so I don't know. Destiny, what's a Ponzi scheme? A Ponzi scheme is when I fuck your mom 10 times and then promise to fuck her friends 100 times so that she fucks me 10 times and then her friends don't get their 100 fucks, but I got the 10 fucks with your mom.
Sponsor. At that time, we didn't find anything. For me to apologize, it's apologizing for a mistake he made. No, what could we have done to find something else?
The a Ponzi scheme is like, imagine I tell you, if you give me $10, I can double it in 1 month. Well, that's a really fucking good deal. Okay, that's crazy. You're going to double my money in 1 month? Fine. You give me $10. And then let's say that I get, 10 other people to buy in. Let's say like 15 days have passed and there's kind of like a bunch of people who are kind of getting interested. And let's say it's like the end of the month and then like 100 other people are like, oh, fuck, I'll give you $10, right? When that first month expires, the original investors, I pay them out their 2x, earnings. And they're like, oh, shit, this is fucking sick. And then ideally I can grow a ton exponentially, I guess, or whatever. And then in the next month, I can pay back the second month's investors. But this is an unsustainable scheme that requires some sort of like exponential growth. And at some point, because I'm paying off the early investors with the deposits of later investors, and I can't possibly keep that going and it's not sustainable, it all comes crashing down, basically. It's a Ponzi scheme.
There was nothing else to find what the guy was doing.
The whole pitch of Goliath was 3 to 5% a month. That's just unsustainable. You know that. I know that. Like everybody knows. 3 to 5% a month. That doesn't happen.
There are quite a few guys in the space
that's retarded.
That do that in a way that's.
I also don't like. that. I don't know how to. I feel like there should be so much more regulation. Okay, if I was watching Pokemon and she recommended some stock Robinhood or something or whatever that ends up being a huge scam, it's like it's Poke, whatever. I guess it's not good. She shouldn't do it, whatever. But if I'm watching like Atrioc and he recommends some financial thing like that and it ends up being a huge scam, I feel like there's a lot more liability on Atrioc because you kind of market yourself as like a finance professional. PBD markets himself as a small business entrepreneur finance guy. So I feel like there should be more responsibility there. Now, in the real world, there's zero distinction, I believe, unless you're actually like a certified CPA and then you brand your thing as like financial advice, which I don't even know if you can do for a public show. So I don't like the total lack of liability or accountability, especially because they're getting paid for their reputation. Like if a sponsor's approaching you and paying you a ton of money because they know that you're in that industry and you're reputable, well then you're in a way endorsing them. You're lending them a bit of your reputation for a sponsor. So like if it goes, tits up and everything gets fucked up, I mean that should reflect poorly on you. I think you can't at that point.
If you take it sponsor, you are endorsing it
to some extent. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then if this is like within your. I think that becomes like a stronger statement the closer it gets to your main content, I guess.
Yeah.
So like if Trainwrecks took a gambling sponsor and it ended up being a huge scam, like I'd be like, Trainwrecks, the fuck. But if Trainwrecks took like a candy bar sponsor and it ended up being like they misadvertised their health benefit, and then I'm like, I don't know, fuck. I mean, he shouldn't have done it, I guess. But like if Dr. Mike Isertel took a like a candy bar health sponsor, and it ended up being a scam, I think that would be worse. Yeah.
It's like you should know better. Like yeah.
Works for them that are slightly more conservative. But again, for us, when we're sitting down...
Who though? I don't even know who... No, I don't think that's true. I have to push back on that.
Not at a 3 to 5%, but this is not an abnormal model.
It's totally... No. The pitch he was making was abnormal.
Wait, what?
Who though? Who? I don't even know who. No, I don't think that's true. I have to push back on that.
Not at a 3 to 5%, but this is not an abnormal model.
That's just unsustainable. You know that. I know that. Like everybody knows, 3 to 5% a month. That doesn't happen.
There are quite a few guys in the space that do that in a way that's worked for them, that are slightly more conservative. But again, for us, when we're
slightly more conservative,
sitting down,
who though? Who? I don't even know who. No, I don't think that's true. I have to push back on that.
That's not true.
Not at a 3 to 5%, but this is not an abnormal model.
It's totally no. The pitch he was making was abnormal. When you actually looked at the pitch he was making, it was completely abnormal. It was not a normal hedge fund.
If you let me finish, I'll tell you my perspective.
Yeah.
This form is not abnormal. The numbers he chose was abnormal. I think the more now we think about it, what this guy was relying on is the following. This is my speculation. And you can, you can take an angle.
He's about. I don't know why everybody does this. If there's like a thing that happens to your brain when you start engaging in Ponzi schemes, every single person will describe a Ponzi scheme while not being aware that they're describing a Ponzi scheme. I don't know why. I remember that Martin Shkreli, okay, God bless him, when he first talked to me like 7 years ago, he was describing how he ran his hedge fund. And I remember listening to him. I was like, aren't you just describing like a Ponzi? Because he would tell me that he would take new money coming in to make right and shore up like older investors whose assets he was managing. And I'm like, isn't this just a Ponzi? He's like, no, you're totally allowed to do this, of course. And obviously you're not allowed to do that. That's why I went to prison. But I'm like, I don't know. Okay, but let's see how he describes it, okay?
Angle with it or not. I think this guy was hoping that Bitcoin was going to go to $250,000 and he was going to get away with it, and it didn't. And it ended up, put them in the situation he is right now for $328 million. This guy's going to be facing, many years of prison time. This is.
Oh, no, okay. So he acknowledges that it is a scam. Okay, yeah. So it was a scam. It was essentially a Ponzi scam. Yeah. Okay. Kind of. Yeah.
Not a small little crime that he committed. So for us, if I were to tell you, hey, my guys knew, and we investigated this, and we knew everything about him, and we did, I would apologize. We did not know.
I don't think you're apologizing because you knew. I think you're apologizing for not doing the due diligence that someone of your stature.
I've already told you, Stephen. As a leader, the way I have gotten to where I'm at in my life right now is
without doing due diligence.
As a leader, I take responsibility for the decisions we've made, and we have to get better when it comes down to this. So we've made the adjustments ourselves as a company, and we've had many conversations with many of the people. And trust me, it's been a lot of late night calls with a lot of different people as they're going through this. This is not a pretty situation, but there is nothing we could have done on our end. If this would have happened, let's just say this happens a week before the vault, a day before the vault, a month before the vault. We're not even going through with this. But it happened months after the vault. And there wasn't anything that we could have looked at to say this was an issue. Again, remember, the part I
think you could have looked at his pitch deck. Hold on, I just want to go back a second. There's a few things you said. I don't want to go too far without addressing a few. So you said, look, I think he was betting on Bitcoin going up. I mean, that's not true. He was just taking in wires to Coinbase. Well, I'll tell you. I can tell you because I looked into it. So he was just taking in money to Coinbase and just paying out people. All his story about liquidity pools, all that wasn't true. It was just a straight up Ponzi scheme. You said, there's, one thing you said is, look, I'm a leader. I have to own it to my mistake. Sometimes owning up to your mistakes is just apologizing. Again, it's not a gotcha. I really want to give you the platform because this is the first time you're addressing it to just say, hey, look, I'm not saying that you knew that it was a Ponzi scheme. It was. The returns were completely unrealistic. You said that yourself. I mean, if someone can't rely on you to do that due diligence, it's just kind of like you're kind of saying you messed up without saying it, though.
That's an unfair statement to make, but you're doing your part and you're asking me the questions and I'm giving you my answer. And this is my answer to you.
Right.
Again, if I knew any of this stuff before, of course I have to apologize. If we knew any, and by the way, what's $1 million? Nothing to us.
So why not commit it though? But why not commit it back to the people who lost money?
Let me make my point. What I mean by this: the $1 million is spent for an event. If we knew a second before the event, this is what's going on. Of course, we're taking a different position, but we didn't know, Stephen. It's that simple.
Stephen.
So it sounds to me like you're like, hey, look, we spent the money on the event. Too bad, so sad to the people who lost all their money.
That's not what I'm saying. No, I sympathize with everybody. I've lost money. I don't get to where I'm at without having lost money many
Did you lose money with Chris Delgado?
I didn't invest too much money. None. And by the way, Stephen, remember this part as well. This is very
you should have to say if you
invest
invest with your sponsors too.
Sure, or how much
if
you
you're
use them or
pushing
whatever.
like a financial shit, you should be like, I am invested in this or I'm not invested in this.
Yeah.
Got started since 2013. Okay, it's very important for you to know this. From 2013 till today, talk about we run a consulting firm. I have different companies that I'm running under my holding company. The Vault Conference, speaking fees that I get, everything that we do. How much money do you think has gone in my personal pocket? Meaning, how much money do you think every year I've taken off the table or I pay myself a salary from all my holding companies outside of the insurance company that I sold? What do you think the number is?
I don't see how this is relevant. You and I both know the way you structure your wealth for tax purposes is.
I hate these okay, Coffee is a smart guy, but this guy's playing so many fucking tricks.
I don't see how this is.
What's the salary you take from your companies? I'm sorry, didn't you just brag about selling a company last year or 4 years ago or something? Didn't he say that you just sold a big company? Hold on, forget your fucking salary. What is your equity in these companies and what are their valuations? Let's talk about that. What do you mean? Do you think I even take a salary? Blah blah. How much personal spend do you count as business spend? Right? Because you better fucking believe every trip that these motherfuckers take across the Atlantic or the Pacific is on some private bougie fucking jet. It's getting charged to a fucking business card. Okay, I bet all of his suits, I bet his stupid fucking haircut, everything in his fucking studio, half this guy's fucking life is probably counted as quote-unquote business spend from one of his fucking businesses. And when he sells, yeah, he might not be drawing a salary, but he's got a fat fucking check he's getting from all the equity he has in these companies. Abso-fucking-lutely. Coffeezilla is right to say, like, this is not relevant, but he's so slimy here. Ugh!
From all my holding companies outside of the insurance company that I sold, what do you think the number is?
I don't see how this is relevant. You and I both know.
Salary.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, kind of, yeah.
You and I both know the way you structure your wealth for tax purposes is a wide variety of ways. So if you tell me it's $0, then it doesn't really.
Question, and I'm giving you the argument for this for you to know because you said something, and I'm defending that position. Here's the position. Every year, no matter how much money the company makes, I've chosen to not take any money off the table, meaning none of this money comes back in my pocket. 100% of the money is reinvested in what we're doing. I don't take an income. So it's not like, I know to the public it seems like this is, you know what, you make the money. I didn't make the money. The money's in the business.
Yeah, but you own the business, though. You own the business, which has the money. But you and I both know. Look, I have an S corp as well, Patrick, and I can play this game. Oh, I took X. I didn't choose to take this from from the business. A lot of those are just accounting structural reasons, or hey, you're reinvesting it in the business because you expect to make more in the future. To me, you got to get to the point of look. Ultimately, the money that was paid to you. This is the critical thing that I just want to kind of ask you very directly about. The money that was paid to you was not Chris's money, okay? If it was Chris's money, I would understand. It was other people's money. He had stolen the money. It's stolen money you have, or your business.
Are you taking a Polymarket sponsor? Hell yeah, I am. You better believe it, boy.
David Consulting has.
There's a part of this that I shared with you respectfully. I said, I have to go through certain conversations I'm having with them, and you're jumping the gun. And I said to you, there's certain things I cannot talk to you about. This is one of them. The moment we get through where we're at, you're the first phone call we're making.
I'd love to be.
To address the one question to you.
Yeah.
If we knew any information before, I wouldn't hesitate to apologize. But we didn't.
But your due diligence failed, and you recognize that. That's what you would apologize for. I'm not saying you're apologizing for knowing it's a Ponzi scheme.
I will gladly. I've already said to you. I man up on the mistake that we have to do a better job with due diligence.
Right, but you're manning up on the mistake. You're manning up on, hey, we got to do better. But you're stopping short of saying, hey, I apologize for not doing better before.
You're fairly a reasonable guy.
Yeah.
Do you think if I found anything, do you think this is worth it to me to go through this? Do you think it's worth it to me to have Steven on Coffeezilla make a video and I'm getting video saying, hey, what share do you have that you're getting? Do you think it's worth it for me to do this? You think that you...
Also, if you're investing in something and you don't understand like the what the fuck it is, like what the fuck is this? From January 2023 through January 2026, investors were told by Delgado and Goliath directors through presentations and marketing materials that their funds would move from a traditional bank account in the name of Goliath to Coinbase, then to an encrypted ledger, and ultimately into liquidity pools where returns would be generated. The following is a representation of Goliath's investment cycle that was presented to investors through marketing materials.
It's just business. It makes sense.
Okay, so this is your money. What?
Sorry. This fucking graph, man.
It goes to JP Morgan for Goliath. Then Goliath sends it to their Coinbase account. And then the Coinbase account converts the money to USDC, which I think is a crypto coin that's pegged onto the US dollar. That goes to an encrypted ledger for some reason. I don't know why, for them to invest, I guess. And then it goes to the liquidity pool, and somehow money goes up a lot.
This feels like what you would do on EVE Online, and you'd just be like, well, yeah, we're just buying shit and then selling it for more money. Simple as.
It's true.
We convert to fuel, and then we sell the fuel on the market for more.
Money goes up.
Money go up.
Use is worth it. Like, You think if I knew this is who this guy was, I would have done this? What do you, Stephen, respectfully, your opinion. Do you think if I knew this guy was fraud, I'd take the money from him? Your opinion.
I think there were insufficient checks on this, and you agree with that.
Question, though. You're right, they did. Now I know.
Yeah.
What I'm asking you is the question, and see if you can, at least I've been fair with you, see if you can be fair with me.
Sure.
Do you really think if I knew this guy is a criminal, I would have taken a penny from the guy? Give me the credit there at least.
Oh, sorry.
Do you think it?
Sorry. My alarm just went off. Sorry about that.
Wake
no,
up.
I don't think that if you had known, I don't think if you had known, you would have done it. I don't think you knew. I never said I thought you knew. I said
If you're ever talking to somebody and they use your first name a lot when they're having an argument with you, that person is always also a manipulator.
look, you promoted a guy multiple times, turns out to run a Ponzi scheme. I'd be so, and I sense you have some, kind of like embarrassment, you don't like it, but I just don't understand why it's stopping short of, hey, it just seems like the full mea culpa is not there, and I just don't really understand why. It just seems like, hey, this is the platform to address it. Kind of just, it seems like you have plenty of money, your company has plenty of money.
I already did address it with you. This is going to end up costing me more than $1 million, just so you know that.
Wow.
Like, this is not going to, I'm not winning here in any way. Okay, because of that reason of last year, I can't even take any sponsorship money for title this year. So imagine how much it's cost me to take that guy last year and hire lawyers this year. This does not make my life any better. In no way. It's just become a lot of noise, and I don't like noise. So
I think we should put it to bed. I think I think you should. I think there's a very clear path to putting this whole thing to bed. Saying, hey, look, I've improved my policies going forward. We're gonna make it tougher to be a title sponsor. I paid back the money, and I'm sorry to the people who invested. I mean, I feel it's kind of silly because I feel like in some ways I'm advocating for your fans who might have been there and invested. Really, it's not my. I don't think it was probably a lot of the people who watch me that probably were invested. I think it's your fans. That's kind of why I'm surprised the pushback.
And I appreciate that. Trust me, nobody cares about my fans more than I do. And I'm telling my fans that, trust me, the people who don't, there's nothing I can do about them. But the people that have been with us for year after year after year, if they know why they keep coming back is people trust us, the way we make decisions. If we knew anything a day before that this was going to happen, I would have never taken this money, ever. And if I did, I would have, of course, apologized. But for me to apologize means I knew who he was and I did this. No.
Or you failed to do the due diligence.
We did the due diligence. The due diligence didn't show up any red flag for us to see.
Their business model made no sense. I mean, look. I'll be honest. Let me be transparent about my backstory with this whole case. Maybe you did.
The only thing I will tell you is I can continue this conversation. I literally just landed. I'm in my 3-piece suit. If you want to FaceTime me, sitting by the water. My kids are waiting for me to go in.
I just landed. I'm in my 3-piece suit. My kids are in the pool. Jesus Christ.
It's my daughter's 10-year-old birthday yesterday, and I'm on the phone with you. So if you can keep it to 5 minutes, I'll go 5 minutes with you. And then
Yeah. 5 minutes. 5 minutes is fine. No, I'll just give you some backstory on this case. Okay, so I got sent this case by somebody. It was very quick to understand, that this was a ridiculous Ponzi scheme, okay? This wasn't a complicated fraud. As soon as I got his marketing information, as soon as I got a hold of the pitch, it was very clear what they were doing. So that's why that part of it's failing for me, as far as you're saying, look,
you can have that opinion. And by the way, maybe next time we send a message to you, and you bill me, so I don't have to deal with something like this. You think I'm going to deal with something? If you have this service, for me, I would send every one of my...
I think it's going to be $1 million. I think it's going to be $1 million. I'm joking. Look.
You're so funny.
No, so listen, To wrap, look, I think you've addressed it in the way you want to address it. Final thoughts to you, Patrick. Looking back on this whole thing, I don't imagine you'll address it many more times. So last opportunity to say what you want to say about Chris Delgado and, its impact on you.
What's the chance of PBD knowing it was a scam? 100%. If the ads sound anything like what they sound like anybody promising those high returns, what would that be, 40, 50% a year? And saying that return is essentially as safe as any normal market investment, any index fund or whatever, and not advertising it as an insanely highly risky investment, then he 100% knew it was a scam. Everybody would know this.
So, listen, it's so disappointing, to say the least. Very disappointing, to say the least. You would have thought this guy's doing the right thing and put us in a situation like this that we have to explain ourselves. And in life, I try to set the example for my kids to never put yourself in a situation that you have to explain a bad decision you made, do it more on the front end. And all we're doing right now is find a way for this to never happen again. And by the way, again, it's important for you to know this, Stephen. You're a guy that does proper due diligence. Go back and watch my last 2 years of podcasts. I don't know how long it's been. Maybe it's a little over 2 years. We've not taken a penny on sponsorship for 2 years on our podcast because this is exactly what I didn't want to deal with. Remember when, what is the SPF thing that happened with...
FTX.
Oh, FTX. Yeah, when the FTX thing happened and everybody was like, oh, he took 50 million. Oh, he took $3.5 million. Oh, he took this. I went to my guys. I said, guys, I don't want sponsorship money. And so our strategy changed where we said, we're going to do sponsorship of products that we run because I'll take responsibility for product that I'm running because I'm the CEO.
Okay, quick question there, though, because I'm looking at your show right now. It says Kalshi on your thing, the sports betting, they do prediction markets, Kalshi/PBD. Are you guys partnered with them, and what's that about?
Well, remember, Kalshi is not like, what do you call it, title sponsor. They're a platinum sponsor for the ball conference. And remember,
oh my God,
what I told you. We said we're going Fortune 1000, Fortune 2000. I don't have a problem going with companies that have names, but I'm not going to go with companies that are not names. And Kalshi happens to be a company...
Okay, I was just misunderstanding because you said you didn't do sponsors on your show.
No. Kalshi is a vault sponsor that a part of it is the podcast. So if you come to the conference, you would see a massive booth for them because they're one of the platinum sponsors.
Okay.
And also remember the rule. There have to be an established company. They're an $11 billion company that's a well-known company out there in the marketplace. And me having a podcast and I'm always talking about politics. And we talk,
Are you into the gambling stuff? I mean, I don't want to go too long, but are you into the gambling? You push that now? Or
if you know my profile, I'm not a gambler. I'm not a guy who gambles.
Okay.
These odds nowadays, they tell you more insights. You know, nowadays, these poly markets and Kalshis are more effective than polls.
Well, you know, like 85% of their betting is sports gambling. You know that.
It's not even gambling
85%
anymore.
of betting is
Their volume, sorry.
It's a form of betting, but for us, it's more for the political side. It's more on the political side where, you know, they do, these companies are now doing stuff with CNN, with Fox, with others because it's politics. Everyone's, well, what do you think's going to win? We, like I said, we don't look at polls anymore. Anyway, Steven.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you, Patrick. Listen, you got on this on short notice. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
These kids are drowning.
We're gonna do Polymortgate, yeah? For the political side, right, Steve?
No, we're doing it exclusively for horse track betting. I'm going to show everybody how to pick the best fucking horses, okay?
Good, smart.
This is what the creative and artistic vision of conservatism looks like. Imagine if conservatives, rather than pathetically crawling around on the ground to lap up discarded pop culture crumbs, actually went out and advanced their own creative and artistic vision. Imagine if we used an event like this to actually elevate our own artists and make them famous. What a crazy thought. From Matt Walsh.
I hate
this. And there's a million of us just like me, plus like me, just don't give a fuck like me.
Is this art?
Like me,
yeah?
Like me. It just might be the next best thing, but not quite me. I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you want is
I feel like Dan would have one of these, actually.
What? Jesus.
So want the real, and there's a million of us just like me, plus like me.
Did you see Elon's baby mama exposing him in Medi Show? Listen, if she posts something like that's super concrete, that's fine. But her running around talking to 50 million people, making the same kind of like vague claims, if there's like actual stuff posted, then I'd be curious to see it. But I don't care to hear like the same 30-minute spiel over and over again. Jesus. What is
Here we
this?
go. Ad break ends. Just so stupid. Just cross. Oh, here we go. Ad break ends. Just so stupid. So dumb. Like, you know what's crazy too? It's like Eddie doesn't listen. He just ignores my message. Like he just goes to the. Nah, I gotta message him, bro. Sit me down with the team doing the ads so I can at least help them make it more digestible for each streamer. Forcing fucking ads every single time in a 20-minute interval is retarded. It's just retarded. Let the streamer choose when to run it on the hour. Furthermore,
run it.
That's it. Actually, there's no furthermore. Anyways, as I was saying, just cross.
Wow. Now that's what I call a cool story, bro. Leads in Bitcoin mining, blockchain technology, DEFI, and crypto liquidity pools by leveraging cutting-edge technology and strategic investments. Join us in shaping the future of technology and business. Oh my God.
How do I invest?
This is the business cut guy. But for crypto, it's him.
Hi everyone, it's Skunkface here. And you may or may not have noticed, but I just received a business cut. Now, what does this mean for the brand of Skunk Paste? Well, essentially it means you're going to be seeing a great new viral outreach burst of business-related content. What does that mean? It means viral approach, marketing schemes, theoretical distribution, employee relation management. Diabolical web overdrive, advertisement sensibility, outreach announcements, quantized distribution, online web content, pivotal techniques to increase your marketability and sales output, stock portfolio, tip trading, techniques, stock investment leeway opportunities, more content delivered straight to your feed. How can I increase my growth? What are my sales figures? What's my bottom line? What is the input-output mechanism for regrowth and remanagement?
True.
Staff clearing, business-wide accountability programs, accountability boosters, initiatives and incentives for your employees to overdrive their concepts.
paid vacation time, and more. So with all of these great tips, you'll be sure to be successful. With all of these great tips, you'll be sure to make it in the business field. Whether it's online distribution, sales management, team efforts, viral content, or anything related to business, marketing outreach, approach, theoretical distribution theory, you will be making your success fields in the rounds. So I can't wait to see your growth. Together we're going to take this journey and follow it together. We're both going to be growing in our business ventures. So thank you very much for following my new business channel. And this is about business now. So go get with business. It's about business.
Goliath Ventures, guys. Wow. We got charts. We got people shaking hands doing business. We got
it's business.
Architects, I guess. They're donating food to hungry kids. My God.
I mean, they gotta be good if they're donating food to hungry kids.
Did you see this? Candace Owens next week is visiting Russia. She's going to Russia with her family for a week. And apparently there's other influencers going. I've seen there's other people attending some kind of summit, I heard, with maybe Alexander Dugin and this Russian oligarch. Who called it? Who called it first? They said I was crazy. They looked at me like I was crazy.
This is absolutely not Candace's first trip to and from Russia. I know that 100%. Don't know how many times she's been there, but I know that it's absolutely not her first time.
Who called it a year ago?
She's been there more than once?
I know that she's been there at least once, 100%.
I remember last year, I went on Bradley Martin in like July. And we were talking about Candace. He brought it up, and I said, listen. I said, this is just speculation. I said, total shot in the dark. I have no evidence. I said, this is just a theory, okay? I said, however, you see Candace Owens is gunning really hard for Brigitte Macron, wife of the president of France. I said, and that just seems strange to me. It seems random. Why, out of all the people and all the stories and all the transsexuals in the world, why is she going after Brigitte Macron, Emmanuel Macron's wife? I said, well, this is not new. Because there has been a contingent on the right wing that has been gunning for Emmanuel Macron since he got elected the first time in 2017.
I know Fuentes believes what he speaks about, but genuinely, why doesn't he jump on the Russia train or be influenced by foreigners? Unfortunately, it's for the really stupid shit that I said before, where people were like, would you rather have a fascist party or a communist party? And it's like, it sounds cringe, but like, I don't know, like at least I know fascists, you know, even if they have a distorted view of what America is, I think they love the country and they want the country to be great. I think communists are invested in the destruction of America, unironically. So I don't think Nick would ever be paid off by, or controlled by a foreign operative. I would hope not, because I just don't think ideologically that's where he would line up. So I would never, I don't know if he would ever jump on those types of trains. Now, he might have the same types of misinfo or lies that he might push. I don't know what he said about fucking Ukraine or whatever. It wouldn't surprise me because he doesn't like the idea of us like working with Ukraine or being over there. But I don't think he would like be on a Russian payroll the same way that somebody like Hassan 100% would.
17, going all the way back to Charles Johnson on Researcher. I said, so who is France's number one enemy? It's Russia. France and Russia are in effectively a war in North Africa and Ukraine. Macron is one of the biggest Ukraine hawks in Europe. And a big part of that is because Russia is backing many military junta governments, military coups in the Sahel region in West Africa against the French sphere of influence from their former colonial holdings. And this is affecting France. Here's an example. France runs on nuclear.
Wait, how do you square that with Tenet Media? Fuentes wasn't part of Tenet, no? What do you mean?
Energy. They need uranium for their power plants. Where do they get it? They get it from Niger. They get it from Niger in West Africa, where the Wagner Group, private military corporation, which is in bed with the Russian military, overthrew that French-aligned government and kicked all the French military bases out of the country. And so you say, why is Candace Owens gunning so hard for France? Maybe there's some kind of Russian influence, because at that level, it does become geopolitical. She's one of the biggest podcasters in America, one of the biggest YouTubers. And so if she is creating this huge problem for Macron, you know,
Fuentes was one of the few Tenet believers on the dissident right? Like he believed in their mission? Or what do you mean?
Wonder if there's some other angle there. And like I said, this is pure speculation. I said this a year ago. Nobody really believed me. Nobody acknowledged that. Well, here we are. She's going to Russia for a week with her family, and she goes, well, it's because we're Christian. It's because we're Christian, and we want to go to Russia because of their Christian legacy. I want to say, why are you going to Russia? You don't want to go to Constantinople. You don't want to go to Rome. You don't want to go to, I don't know, anywhere else.
I assume Tim Pool is a fascist, but still took the money. Tim Pool, to me, it's so hard to know, but like Tim Pool to me doesn't come off as a fascist or like strongly ideologically driven. He comes off to me as just kind of like a scumbag loser fuck. Like, I feel like if it came time for there to be like a fucking civil war or some shit of the United States, I think there's a world where somebody like Nick Fuentes would fight on the losing side, knowing that he would lose because his convictions were strong enough. Tim Pool is like the Lannisters. He's never, ever, 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 ever going to be on the losing side of anything. He'll just go to wherever the money is. That's how I view somebody like that.
Russia for their Christian tradition. That's really interesting. Out of all the places you could go, especially when you're Candace Owens, and you are getting sued for probably billions of dollars by Turning Point and by Brigitte Macron, out of all the places you go to Russia, really interesting. I would never go to Russia just because of how it would look. Would I like to go there? Yeah, I think it would be interesting. Even at my level, which I'm on a tier below Candace.
It's so fucking retarded that he even has to say this because it's just such an obviously true thing, right? It's not even necessarily about whether you're doing anything bad. It's like, what would it look like? What would it look like for you to go to Russia and whatever, with everybody saying whatever they do, unless you were like streaming literally 24/7? Like, it's such an obvious thing that you should be aware of, you know?
It would be interesting. Even at my level, which I'm on a tier below Candace. She's on YouTube, Spotify, she's huge. I would never go to Russia or Iran or China for that matter, just because of how it would look.
Holy fuck. How long until the current fucking football shit is over? Are they playing for the rest of the day or?
No, it's like probably like 10, 20 more minutes. I'm not watching, so.
Okay.
You just want me to nuke
I would
him?
be too
No, because people always find a way to fucking say retarded
concerned about what Homeland Security would think about that, what the public, the DOJ would think about that, the State Department. If I'm a target, if I'm being called out by the Trump administration, if I'm a dissident, if I'm an enemy of the Jewish mafia, I'm not going to Russia. I'm not going to Iran. I'm not going to Syria. I'm not giving them a reason, in other words, to think I'm in danger. Think about, here's a perfect example. How about Hassan Piker? Hassan Piker is getting screwed by the DOJ, by the Treasury Department, because he visited Cuba, because he has contacts in Cuba. So the same week that the DOJ announces they've subpoenaed Hassan Piker, she's going to go to Russia next week? You think that's a good idea?
Have you ever met anyone who actually listens to Candace Owens' podcast? I have lost friends to the Candace Owens podcast, so yes. I don't know how popular she is in other spaces, but yes, unfortunately.
Who's paying for the travel? Who's paying for the hotel? Does that violate any sanctions? I would be, as someone who cares deeply for Candace, as someone who's really looking out for her, I don't think that's such a great idea. But then again, why would she go? Maybe she needs to go. And this is something I'm going to tell you before we get into our big news for the night. We used to talk a lot more about this last year, but this is something you need to understand. I'm not saying I know for a fact that Candace is in on something or anything like that. I'm just saying this is generally true. All of these big influencers, you have to suspect that they are involved with foreign governments in some capacity. You just have to, because frequently they are.
God, I don't know how true this is. 2 years ago, I would have said this is so fucking retarded to think, but now I really don't know. It's so crazy, bro. I hate this timeline right now.
And it's weird. Now, Israel is the big one, and that goes without saying. How many of these people are kissing the wall, taking the trip?
Fuck, but this is, it's Russia, it's Russia, Qatar, maybe China. I don't know where. The problem is that, and you don't even need, you can still be anti-Semitic and still understand this. If you are old in America, you have reasons why you might like Israel. Again, their story's inspiring back in the day. If you are a Jew in America, then you have reasons to like Israel, obviously. You're fucking Jewish, right? If you are a Christian Zionist in America, which I think most evangelicals are, you have reasons to like Israel. Israel doesn't have to do really anything there to be subversive. Since 73, Israel and America are like very strong natural allies. That doesn't take a whole bunch of inorganic massaging. It can be explained very easily. Now, that's not to say... Like, is it possible that there are some Israeli paid propaganda people in the United States? I mean, I'm not going to say that's impossible. I'm sure there could be, but the evidence is so much heavier right now related to the fucking Russia slop, the fucking China slop, the fucking whatever Qatar has injected so many different people into our educational institutions.
Now, Israel is the big one, and that goes without saying. How many of these people are kissing the wall, taking the trip? They come back wearing an IDF hat. They're taking the $7,000. Like, that goes without saying that Israel...
I don't think the $7,000 thing... Is there any proof of this ever happening ever? I don't know if this has ever been the case ever, if there's anything...
...has this immense influence in the United States. But Israel is truly not the only one. Why is Tucker Carlson in Saudi Arabia and Qatar all the time? Can anyone tell me why?
True.
It's so random. It just... You have this brand that, you know, I'm out here in my cabin,
The fact that we don't talk about Russia anymore at all, because libs got fucked on it. Libs got their brains blasted on the Russia stuff, and conservatives will never talk about it because they know it makes their side look bad. So it's literally impossible to ever have conversations about Russia.
Just like hunting and fishing, and I just love America so much. Okay, so why do you spend all this time in Riyadh? Why do you spend all this time in Qatar? Why did you buy a house there? It's just weird. And the same goes for Candace Owens going to Russia. Why are you spending a week in Russia? Clearly something is going on there. Dan Kazarian, Jew Kazarian, a.k.a. Jew goes to the UAE and Qatar trying to get a golden visa. He goes to Corsica, he goes to Romania, and then he goes to Qatar and the Emirates, and he talks to their tourism minister, talks to the government there about obtaining a golden visa. And what you realize is that if you want to make the big bucks as an influencer, you need that foreign backing. If you want immense resources to play in this game, which is political influence in America, you got to go to some other country and get your money up. That is what they do. And frequently it is, yeah, it's Russia, it's Turkey, it's the Saudis, it's the Emiratis, it's the Qataris. Obviously, it's Israel, it's India. They're all throwing money around. They're all throwing money. And they get around FARA, foreign agent registration, with all these convoluted ways. They'll give contributions in kind. They'll do it through very spurious means. We don't need to get into the details, but this is a huge thing. And, you know, we used to talk a lot about this last year, but there is a heavy Russian element in the so-called dissident right.
But we can't talk about any of it because, one, the Trump admin literally won't even investigate it. And then, two, conservatives have mind-fucked all of us out of being able to even have a conversation about it.
Always been there. And I will say there is a Qatari element as well. I know that the Israelis say that, but it is true.
Yeah.
The Qataris opened up a brand new embassy last year. They are trying to get involved. They are paying people. And, you know, that's not downplaying. Israel does so much more. Israel does 10 times that, and it's so much more sophisticated. The Qataris are very sloppy, and they're just not as effective. The Israelis have got it down to a science. I'm just saying...
Where do we see that at, though? Because I feel like, where the fuck has Israel been for their propaganda in the U.S.? And why the fuck don't any of them come to me for money? Just kidding. Not that I would ever accept it, but...
You got to be on the lookout that there is a lot of foreign money.
At least.
The entire influencer space is awash in foreign cash. It's unbelievable. And so you see something like that. You see Tucker going to the Emirates and Saudi and Qatar. You see Candace going to Russia, and you say, what is going on? Candace is married to a British guy, and she's going to Russia. Tucker's going over to Qatar. Candace's number one backer is this guy named John Mappin. He's also British. His wife is from Kazakhstan. The wife is Kazakh. Very interesting, isn't it? And it goes around and around like this. I mean, there's some serious foreign influence networks going on in the influencer space, even, yes, including on the dissident right. And I think that's probably could be a reason why a lot of them don't like me. Could be part of it. Because I'm one of the only people that is not doing that sort of thing. I am not going to the Gulf. I'm not going to Russia. I am not going to any of these places. I am not involved in that. But anyway, I do want to move on. I want to get into our news for the night. So a couple of different things, right? Ian Carroll, he's out. Candace Owens, she's going to Russia. Very interesting. She's at war with Brigitte Macron. Now she's in Russia. They said I was crazy. The way that she deflected that, she goes, oh, he says I'm some kind of Russian agent. That's totally insane. Now we're taking the whole family to Russia. It's like you couldn't make it to Phoenix to talk to Erica Kirk, but now you're going to Russia for a week? Interesting. Super interesting. It's all that arbitrage. They need that state backing as American dissidents. And look, like, on some level, like, whatever, if they're pushing Israel criticism or something like that, something to be said for that. Something to be said for the fact that you got to fight fire with fire if the Israelis are juiced up. You know, maybe it could be said that on the other side, people need to replace the Israeli money with a different benefactor. I think the answer is America first. I think you got to get all that money out of there. There needs to be a serious crackdown on everybody, on the right, on the left. This Chinese billionaire that's funding the left, these trips to Cuba, Venezuela, Burkina Faso, and Yemen, and on the right as well, the trips to Israel, the trips to Russia, Serbia, the Emirates, Saudi. You know, that's got to stop too. So I want to move on, though. We're going to get into our news. Our big featured story is all about the war in Iraq.
Fuentes crashes out on Super Chatter again. Why are you leaving me these Fuentes clips?
Heart with ribbon emoji. I saw a clip from Ye 24 days. Ye was equating capitalism with Jewish economics, both contrasted with patriotism. What are your thoughts?
Thank you for the huge super chat. I appreciate it on that. I mean, I don't know, man. You guys are just kind of hurting me with this. Capitalism is Jewish economics. Thoughts? Thoughts on? You've said nothing, you fucking idiot. Like, I'm sorry. I appreciate the big super chat. Thank you for all the support, but it's...
This is our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. Hegseth was seen sporting a t-shirt with the words, "This is war." Docked in Singapore. Okay, all right. What? When are you going to get into models and stop doing Legos? That's the real question.
I've already chosen my path.
What? Legos?
Yeah. Hold on, this guy links a lot of Fuentes. All right, you're getting a 30-day. See ya.
Whoa! Damn. The cringe level is off the charts.
Whole bunch of options. They either step up and meet the fury of the American military or back down, and you create a whole bunch of options for America and the president with what he wants to execute on behalf of the American people. So right now, hey, Iran has a choice. Meet at the table with the president and give up their nuclear program. And as the president said, I'm lost on time, 2 days ago now, in the cabinet meeting, I'm sitting right next to him. He looks in the camera and says, well, Iran can either do it the right way, with a deal, across the table, or they can deal with my guy on the left. That happened to be me. But it's not me, it's you guys. They either step up and meet the fury of the American military, or back down, and you create a whole bunch of options for America and the president with what he wants to execute on behalf of the American people. So right now, hey, Iran has a choice. Meet at the table with the president and give up their...
I should do Warhammer? I've seen what Warhammer does to people. I'm good on that one, Chief.